6:30. Welcome to another edition of IrishMillSports.com of Navarre Raider football. We're on the road this week to Carroll High School. What's the name of the stadium, Bob?
Well, we're at Carroll High School, the Matthews Stadium.
Matthews Stadium, okay.
Yep.
This is my first trip up here for a football game, and the Raiders' first trip up here as well. They have played against Dothan and Enterprise before, and so they have been up in these parts before, but we're at a new location, and the hospitality has been great so far. We ate at the local establishment right across the street from the high school, the Dairy King. Not Dairy Queen, not to be confused with Dairy Queen, but Dairy King. Mm-hmm. And our bellies are full, and we're ready to go.
I'm glad yours is.
They got an excellent concession stand down below us. We are on the visitor side of the stadium. I mean, beautiful press box over here.
Yep.
We're in the far end. In the middle are the Navarre coaches, and the camera crew is on the other end. And, I mean, it's a beautiful night for football. Hardly any wind at all tonight, Bob.
Nope.
And the Raiders coming in at 2-2 on a 2-game winning streak. And Carroll comes in on a 3-game win streak. They stand at 3-1 after a come from behind last week against Charles Henderson, 34-24.
Yeah, Charles Henderson out of Troy, perennial power in Alabama football. It was a big emotional win for them. Plus, it's homecoming here at Carroll High School, so you've got all that going on.
And if you can see down at the scoreboard where we have the camera faced right now, look at the uprights, and kind of reminds you of Pace uprights a few years back. They went with the short uprights and the post, and it's a little weird looking at it, but
the minimum, yeah.
I think the kickers get the benefit more on a shorter post because you're looking straight up and you don't have as far to look up.
If you
Does that
say
make
so.
sense?
Yeah, sure.
But Navarre comes into this game. The quarterback, Hunter Feaster, leading the way, 41-79, 52%, 517 yards, 5 TDs, 5 interceptions. Connor Matthews leading the rushing attack, 68 carries, 511 yards, 9 touchdowns. Braden Brown and Terrence Marshall, right, 1-2 in the yards receiving, 129, 128 respectively, both with 1 touchdown reception. Kickoff returns, it's been a plethora of return guys for the Raiders, each of them doing a fine job. You really don't want to kick deep to Navarre.
Nope, unless you kick it through the end zone.
And like I said, Connor Matthews leading score with 54 points. And what a job by Tyler Daniel so far on the season. A perfect 17 for 17 on extra points, 5 for 5 on field goals, 32 points for Tyler Daniel. The Raiders have scored 134 points. And they've given up 134 points. So they're averaging 33.5 points a game. And that is also the same amount that Carroll is averaging, is 33.5 points per game. And they've scored 134 points as well. But they've given up 127. Tyrell Marshall and Tyler Daniel will be doing we'll see who will do the punting duties. Last week it was Tyler Daniel, but he only had to punt once, I believe.
Yes, he was practicing, warming up before the game, so I think we can pencil him in as the punter, given Tyrell Marshall a little bit of a break.
And Navarre averaging 188 yards on the ground per game, 133 through the air, and 1,289 total yards on the season. 34.5% on third down conversions, 80% on fourth down. They have 42 first downs on the season, so they're averaging a little. Actually, I need to add, that's 63. I forgot to add last week's amount. So they're over 60 now on first downs. And punt returns, if they do happen to return one, it's either going to be Nate Hansen or Connor Black. On the defensive side of the ball, the Raiders are led by Vinny Villanova, Andre Spence, Joshua Wilson, Marquise White, and Tyrell Marshall. Connor Black and Logan Hand, unfortunately, will be out for the remainder of the season, suffered an injury. And then Easy Gasca, those are your defenders. The Raiders have 3 interceptions on this season to go with 7 sacks and numerous 5 tackles for loss, a couple of block kicks. The Raiders come into this game on a 2-game winning streak, as I mentioned earlier. This is their first road game after 2 weeks at the comfy confines of Bennett C. Russell Stadium.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the week of Fort Walton, I believe. Fort Walton was supposed to come to our place. The two coaches mutually agreed to not play, even though they're just a few miles apart. So Coach Walls got on the telephone, looked online at Max Preps and tried to see who had an open date, because the Raiders are open next week, Bill. So the last thing you want to do when you're on a 2-game winning streak is have 2 weeks off. So anyway, so the Raiders had to hit the road, which is fine. You got to go through, you get it in the playoffs, you're going to have to go on the road. So you might as well get used to that schedule.
Some traveling, that 2 hours, and I figured by bus it was probably 2.5, maybe closer to 3 hours on up here. Not sure when they left this afternoon, but also had to haul a vehicle with all the equipment and everything. So let's get on over to Carroll real quick. They're led by senior quarterback Keyshawn Cole. He's 39 of 69 for 57%, 640 yards, 5 TDs, 4 interceptions. On the running game, Lakeith Pearson, P-E-R-S-O-N, so Person, not Pearson. 60 attempts, 403 yards, 5 touchdowns. Keyshawn Cole, 43 attempts, 384 yards, 8 touchdowns. The receiving corps is led by head coach Patrick Plott's son, Peyton. 23 receptions, 368 yards, 4 touchdowns. Pearson with 131 yards. Carson Edwards with 122. Like I said, they have outscored their opponents 134 to 127. Keyshawn Cole, their leading scorer, with 48 points. Lakeith Pearson with 32. Peyton Plott with 24. On the season, they've committed 7 turnovers, and they have 4 takeaways, so -3 in the turnover ratio. 205 yards rushing per game, 156 passing per game for 362 yards per game. On defense, they're led by Kadarius Leitner, Quay White, Jordan Brown, Justin Snell, Damari Carter, and DeAndre McClendon. And there's your leading tacklers. Offense for both teams. We're going to go ahead and head out and take a commercial break. This hour's bill with Seminole Bob. We're at Carroll High School in Ozark, Alabama tonight. A road trip, our longest road trip of the year so far. And we'd have to go get into the playoffs to make it a longer trip. But it's not really going to be that much longer. If we were to make it to the state championships, did you hear the report the other day?
Tallahassee.
They're actually going to be played at Florida A&M's Bragg Memorial Stadium this year, all classifications.
Wow.
So, and you know the people in Central and South Florida are crying about it. Majority of the time, all the teams up here have had to travel. But this year, I look at it this way. A lot of the states have their state championships at their capital city. I know in Indiana they do, in Indianapolis at Ford Stadium where the Colts play. Wisconsin does at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. A lot of the states have their state championship games so in the capital city, so I don't see why it's such a big deal.
I don't
You're
know.
a man of many words tonight, Bob.
No, no. I've just, I can't disagree with anything you said. You're absolutely right on that. And so, I'm just glad we don't have to make a trip to like Key West or something. Although that wouldn't be bad. It's just a long ways from Navarre.
I don't know. We definitely would fly to that one. I would have to break out the expense book for that trip.
Sharpen the pencil and.
I've never been to Key West. I've always wanted to go to Key West, but right now we don't have a reason really to go. So, well, we're going to go out and take a commercial break because we couldn't bring you these games without the following folks: Culver's of Navarre, All Dry Services, Ursula Householder, Express Employment Professionals, University Lending Group, Navarre Raider Quarterback Club, and Buffalo Wild Wings. One of our 2 new sponsors, them and All Dry Services this year. And you can catch the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show every Wednesday night at 8 from Buffalo Wild Wings in Navarre. And Tuesday night, you can watch us at Culver's on Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. We'll be right back after this break and a word from our sponsors.
Craig Culver of Culver's.
Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
All Dry is 100% veteran-owned and operated. They have a proven process that guarantees customer satisfaction along with job completion to industry standards. In addition to water and mold remediation, they hold certifications in fire and smoke odor control cleanup, trauma, crime scene, and biohazard cleanup. If you're in the Gulf Coast region, including areas in Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi, you can rely on All Dry 24/7, 365. And you can find them on the World Wide Web at www.myalldry.com/Gulf Coast region.
Thinking about selling your property? Call Ursula Householder of Coldwell Banker Realty in Navarre now. The consultation is free, and Ursula uses the best tools the industry has to offer. Her years as a top producer, relocation specialist, and Florida military market specialist will help you get the desired result. If you are buying, Ursula's experience will help you make an informed decision to find the right home for you. And if you mention this advertisement, Ursula will donate $100 to the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club when the deal closes. To find out if you qualify for any of the military rewards, call or text 850-642-5711 or email ursula.householder@cbrealty.com or go to urhouseholderhomes.com. That's urhouseholderhomes.com. Go Raiders!
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire the right person. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills with the right jobs from the production floor to the front office. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
Yesterday, but it was long ago. Jane, it was lovely, she was a queen of my night. There in the darkness with the radio playing low, and the secrets that we shared
Irish Bill Seminole Bob. We're gonna have to shut down and come back up. So don't be alarmed if you lose the picture. We're just getting some messages from our streaming. So we're having some issues with the streaming data up here. It's going back and forth. So bear with us. Let us know if you're getting the picture wherever you're. We're just getting some messages, errors here early on before kickoff here. We got about 13 minutes before kickoff here. 2-2 Raiders on the road at Carroll High School to face off with the Carroll Eagles. The second of 3 times that the Raiders will face an Eagles team this year. They already played Pine Forest. This is number 2, and then at the end of the season, we'll be heading over to Niceville to take on the Niceville Eagles. So 3 Eagle games right now, and getting ready to come out. It's homecoming night here at Carroll High School.
We expect to see at quarterback tonight, the Raiders start 9 seniors and 2 juniors on offense. Quarterback number 11, Hunter Feaster. Left to right on the offensive line, Drew King, a senior, Cam Pollard, a senior, Charlie Cottrell, the center, a senior, Jacob Walsh, the lone junior he's the right guard. Right tackle, Jackson Spalla. We expect to see B.B. Brown, who had a pretty good game receiving and blocking last week against Tate, to be the starting tight end. Backing him up, Jack Helton saw some time at tight end last week. Wide receivers, Terrence Marshall, Nate Hansen, perhaps Tyrell Marshall. You'll also see Darius Cunningham get some reps at wide receiver. Running back, junior Connor Matthews, our Ian Lockwood Player of the Week last week. Scored 9 touchdowns on the season. Number 28, leading ground gainer for the Raiders.
Getting ready for our national anthem here.
God of the past, God of the present, and God of the future. We are so grateful for all that you've done for us all the days of our lives. I humbly ask now that you bless all that will take the field tonight, keep them in your care. Instill good sportsmanship amongst the players as well as the fans. Give our visitors traveling mercy as they return to their homes. And please let this game be enjoyable for everyone. And it's in your son Jesus' name that we do pray. Amen.
Looks like we have everything up and running up here now. Let us know if you guys have any issues out there watching from wherever you're watching this evening. This Irish Bill with Seminole Bob. It's Navarre Raiders on the road this week up here in Carroll High School in Ozark, Alabama. It's the Carroll Eagles against the Navarre Raiders here on IrishBillSports.com and Irish Bill Sports Live on YouTube.
See a good smattering of Navarre fans here tonight. We appreciate those that have, and those of you that, didn't want to make the 2.5-hour trip, back roads, at least that's the way Bill did.
And we didn't see any deer.
Oh, dear, not yet. So we didn't even get like a mile from our house, right? And you stop for gas. You pull up to the pump. It's the new station on 87.
The Sefco. To give
There
them a
must
little
be
plug.
like 10 aisles to pump gas. And, I would have done the same thing. Bill pulls up, I think number 5,
Something like that.
and there were bags on the pump.
The only one that had bags on the pump was the one that I pulled up to.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yep.
We should be getting the captains out here momentarily for the Raiders. Your permanent captains every week are Cameron Pollard, number 71, offensive tackle. Your defensive captain, number 25, Andre Spence, linebacker. Your special teams, number 15, Joshua Wilson. And the Raider captain, voted on by his teammates this week, is number 1, Terrence Marshall, wide receiver and return specialist.
Yeah, I was listening to part of Tyrell's interview you had with him, and very well spoken. All 3 of those folks, I believe, with the exception of maybe Helton, have been on the air. And
So far this week we had running back Connor Matthews.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Tyrell Marshall. Last week we had his brother Terrence. In the first week we had Cameron Pollard, Andre Spence, and Joshua Wilson. So, okay, on the message line, hey, Irish Bill and Seminole Bob, the producer and her team are watching you from Navarre Beach, Florida. She's also watching the Wisconsin at Purdue game tonight as well.
On Wisconsin.
So she's sharing her fandom tonight with Navarre and Wisconsin.
And your lovely daughter's there as well at the house, the Hamill house. Your grandson,
Jared. Mother-in-law, Kay.
Mother-in-law.
We call her, in our house, she's Triple G now.
That's right.
Great-grandmother.
Yep.
So she's Triple G. And we're getting ready for the coin toss here momentarily. The Raiders wearing their maroon pants, white jerseys, maroon numbers, black helmet. Carroll will be wearing their home white pants, red jersey with white numbers, stripes on the shoulders, and white helmet, a C on one side and an eagle on the other. And we're
Those
getting
are
ready
red.
for a coin toss here momentarily. Our captains across the way. Number 10, Jordan, this is for Carroll. Number 10, Jordan Brown. It looks like. Number 10, Jordan Brown. Number 9, DeAndre McClendon. Number 23, which, of course, you always go to a game where they don't have a number
It's
on
33,
the roster.
Bill.
Is it 33?
And we still don't have him on
Still
our
don't.
roster.
So sometimes you get the right roster, sometimes you don't. And number 11, I do not have on my roster as well. Let me see if I can go to Max Preps real quick and see if I can pull up their roster real quick. Go ahead and carry on this conversation, Bob.
Yeah, watching the coin toss. Introductions have been made. Captain, Major, Doctor.
You're obvious, Bob.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see if we got an updated roster here. Schedule.
Navarre comes into the game 7-3 and 10 meetings against Alabama schools. Coach Walls celebrated his 200th victory. Knowing Coach Walls, it wasn't a long celebration. Very humble guy.
Nope, not updated on their. Let's go. Let me go to their website real quick and see if they have a roster on their website. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Long discussion here.
Sometimes you got to improvise here, Bob.
On air producing.
Athletics.
A very traditional walking down from the field house from amongst the fans and band. That's pretty cool.
Nope. So we're going to have to make do with what we have, Bob. Which is okay. Toss still waiting to be conducted. Mr. Whitehat in complete control of this event. I think it is a local TV game here as well, maybe out of Troy or Enterprise. I'm not sure where it would be coming out of. We got a lot of people checking in early. Hey, checking in. Terrence and Tyrell's mom checking in said, let's go Raiders.
Navarre has won the toss.
Sammy checking in says, go Raiders, fight and win. Chili Pepper, I see the scoreboard having a little bit of issues. Hopefully we got those resolved. We got a good connection now.
Navarre's won the toss and is elected to receive.
Navarre is elected to receive.
Sure did.
So it looks like the Raiders will be coming, I hope I get this direction right, south and north, out of the north end zone. Wearing their white jerseys, maroon pants, black Raider helmet. Carroll coming out in their white pants, red jerseys, white numerals, white helmet with a red stripe running down the middle of it. And here comes your Raiders out of the north end zone. Terrence Marshall carrying the skull and crossbones this evening. Cheerleaders bringing in the NHS flag along with the Raider flag. And here comes your home team, the Carroll Eagles. It is homecoming night for Carroll High. And it looks like their inflatable just became deflated. Tom Brady must be around here somewhere.
Oh, too soon.
It's WTVY out of Dothan. Thank you, Jim. Deborah Broxson checking in as well. Raiders have won to toss and elected to receive. They'll be coming out of the north end zone. Actually, they switched fields. They will actually now be coming out of the south end. Terrence and Tyrell Marshall back deep. Joshua Wilson and Connor Matthews in the next level up. Vinny Villanova and Andre Spence in front of them.
You almost said Valentino.
No, I wasn't close.
You almost said Roll Tide.
I would never say that. Xenia Daniels. So both the kickers are Daniels and Daniel.
Okay.
So I can't go wrong with either one. So back deep once again for the Raiders. Terrence and Tyrell Marshall standing on their own 5.
Boy, he's a tall drink of water there, kicker.
He's a lanky string bean. We're getting ready to get this game underway. 7 o'clock kickoff here at Carroll High School. It's the end-over-end kick. It's going to go out of bounds, and the Raiders should get it at the 35, or they will make him kick again. With the return game, I would probably make him kick again. But it looks like the Raiders are going to move out. Nope, they are going to make him kick again. With our return game, I don't blame them for making him kick again.
Wonderful new facilities here at Matthews Stadium here in Ozark.
So Daniel will move back to his 35-yard line to kick off. He needed to tee again. Or not the tee, but the platform. So he will back up 5. First accepted penalty of the night in this game. Now, the Marshall brothers move up to the 10. Looks like we're going to try and get this game underway one more time. End over end kick that's going to come down at the 11-yard line. It's Terrence Marshall to the outside. Cuts back, and he's out to about the 38-yard line. Marshall, not Matt. We got 3 Marshalls on the team. Roman, Tyrell, and Terrence. But it's going to be a 27-yard kickoff return for Terrence Marshall. The Raiders will have 1st and 10. Good field position at their own 39. They're going to split Marshall to the far side along with Nate Hansen. Actually, they're going to flip-flop them. Coming out in a 2 tight end set. B.B. Brown and Jack Helton looks like he's out there. Yep, number 80 and number 87. So 2 receivers, 1 split to each side. First and 10 Raiders from their own 39, just underway here at Carroll High School. It's going to be Marshall on the jet sweep. He's going to get to the outside. Nice run over the 50 and into Eagle territory. Down to about the 43-yard line. A gain of 18. That is actually considered a pass because he flipped it in front of him. So that's a completion for Hunter Feaster on the jet sweep. And a Raider first down. First and 10 Raiders at the Eagles 43. Just underway here. We're going to split Hansen to the far side. Terrence Marshall to the near side. Connor Matthews in the backfield. He's going to get the ball off left tackle. Still on his feet. Breaks a couple tackles down to the 35. Give him 8 yards. And a 2nd and 2 coming up for Navarre. 8 yards.
Nice run. Good blocking up front by the Big Bubbas. King, Pollard, Cottrell, Walsh, Spalla, and tight end B.B. Brown, the Big Bubbas.
Still out there with the double. Actually, they pull Helton out. The double tight end set now single. 2 receivers split to the near side. Single to the top of the screen. Matthews to the right of Feaster. He's back to pass. He's got a receiver downfield. Marshall's wide open, and it's a touchdown, Raiders. From 34 yards out, the Raiders are on the board early as Feaster finds Marshall for the 2nd time this season. This one from 34 yards out at the 10:26 mark.
Just a slight pump fake, and Carroll single coverage.
Daniel in for the extra point. 6-0 Navarre on top. Daniel's kick is up. And it is good. Remains perfect on the season. 7-0 Navarre.
Quick drive, Bill.
52 yards through the air, 8 yards on the ground, 60 yards in total on the drive. Actually going to give Matthews 9 yards on the carry, so it's a 2nd and a long one, but they convert it on a 34-yard touchdown pass from Feaster to Terrence Marshall. Tyler Daniel getting ready to put toe on leather for the Raiders. A beautiful night here at Carroll High School, and
fall is just around the corner.
Ozark, Alabama. Rosemary Stewart checking in. Thanks, Rosemary. Shelby Pritchett checking in. Terrence and Tyrell's great aunt in Arizona says, let's go Raiders. 7-0 Navarre on top here early on. Daniel's kick is a short one down to the 16-yard line. It is returnable. Good special teams coverage by the Raiders as they stop the return man at the 27-yard line. A return of 16. Vinny Villanova on the tackle with a little bit of help from Bryce Moore.
Very powerful, very potent offense, Bill.
Okay, senior quarterback Keyshawn Cole is their quarterback in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the near side, twin to the far side. 1st and 10 Eagles. The handoff off left tackle and brought down after a minimal gain out to the 29. A gain of 2. Person with a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for the Eagles.
Up front defensively, Easy Gasca, Braxton Barr,
and Tristan Ferrara.
Tristan Ferrara, you took the words right out of my mouth.
2nd
there.
and 8 for the Eagles. It's going to be Cole on the keeper.
His knee was down.
Knee down at about the 30-yard line, and so it's only going to be a gain of about 1. Maybe give him 2, bring up 3rd and 6.
Linebackers Vinny Villanova, Josh Wilson, and Andre Spence. Corners Tyrell Marshall, Connor Black. And safeties Marquise White and Darius Cunningham.
3rd and 6 for the Eagles from their own 30-yard line. 9:17 on the clock. 7-0 Navarre on top. Cole back to pass. He's got a receiver out here at the 40. And he's going to reach into Raider territory down to the 45-yard line. A gain of 25 to Plott. Peyton Plott, that is. And an Eagles first down. First and 10 Eagles at the Raider 45. 8:59 on the clock. 7-0 Navarre on top. Trips to the far side, single to the near side. Person is the only person in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Person, but he's right there by Vinny Villanova and Braxton Barr.
On defense, Bill, Navarre starts 4 seniors, 6 juniors, and 1 sophomore.
Marquez White's your lone sophomore. He's on the near side playing corner. And he started from day 1 this season. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles at the Raider 43. 8:16 on the clock. It's going to be Cole on the keeper. Shifty running back.
Wow.
And still on his feet. But I think we're going to have a hold here at about the 25-yard line. It is going to be coming back or a face mask. We'll see what the penalty is. It's either a hold or a face mask. If it's a hold, it's against Carroll. If it's face mask, it's against us, like Navarre.
Thrown by the back judge.
It's a 43-yard touchdown run if the touchdown stands. Okay. Touchdown is good. 43-yard touchdown run by Keyshawn Cole. Puts the Eagles on the board at the 8:02 mark.
Quick strike back by Carroll.
Daniels in for the extra point. 7-6 Navarre. Kick is up and
Whoa.
barely gets over the crossbar, but we're tied at 7 nonetheless. So each team take their opening drive the length of the field and put 7 on the board. And we're tied at 7 with 8:02 on the clock here in the first quarter. Connor Matthews' grandparents checking in from New York, says go Raiders. Scott Weaver checking in, go Raiders. Tiffany, go Darius. One Flesh Marriage Ministry of Navarre checking in. Thelma Worlds checking in. The producer, which is our producer of this broadcast every week, checking in from Navarre. We're tied at 7 here early on, just about 4 minutes in.
Well, we were still an hour and a half from starting last week.
Terrence Marshall and Tyrell Marshall back deep. Terrell on the far side, Terrence on the near side. Daniel's getting ready to put toe on leather for the Eagles. It's a high end over kick that's going to come down to Tyrell at the 8. He goes right up the middle, out over the 30, out to the 33. A return of 25 for Tyrell. The Raiders will start right there from their own 33.
Very nice, well-spoken young man. Listening to the replay of the coach's show on Wednesdays from Buffalo Wild Wings. Bill, he's just so well-spoken. He and his brother talked about his commitment to Memphis.
First and 10 Raiders from their own 32-yard line. 7:54 on the clock. We're tied at 7. I look for a big night out of Terrence tonight.
We'll see how they try to adjust and covering him. Looks like they got 2 safeties now up top.
Connor Matthews cuts back. Got a Raider first down over the 40. Out to about the 44. Give him 12 yards and a Raider first down. Nice job on by the left side of the Big Bubbas.
Pollard and King.
Both seniors there on the left side. Cottrell also a senior.
Jeez, he walked into Buffalo Wild Wings and he's like blocked out sunlight.
First and 10 Navarre from the 44. It's going to be a quick hitter to Rylan Reynolds out over the midfield stripe and into Eagle territory down to the 49.
Rylan also a senior.
That's a gain of 8 to Reynolds. And a 2nd and 2 for Navarre.
What was your number in middle school when you played football?
I was a lineman, so all of 5'6", 135-pound offensive lineman. So I was in the 60s.
I was 61, right guard.
It's going to be a 2nd and 2. Connor Matthews with a nice run, still on his feet inside the 40, all the way down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 12 and another Raider first down.
Methodical. The Big Bubbas are dominating. We talked a lot on the way up about the small squad that our hosts bring. 38 or so players, perhaps second half we can wear them down.
Julie Prevette checking in. Chili Pepper checking in. Tyler Daniels' grandparents watching from Vermont. It's going to be a handoff to Matthews. I think we're going to either have a holding in the backfield or we're going to have a face mask. If it's a holding, it's going to be against Helton. It is. Now back the Raiders up 10. Unless they choose to
decline the penalty. I'd be tempted to decline the penalty, take the down.
They're gonna mark it off.
Take the yardage, I guess, from the spot.
So it'll be first down for the Raiders still, but it'll be 1st and 20.
Big good spot for a quarterback draw, Bill.
First penalty of the night against Navarre.
Oof.
Matthews tackled in the backfield by Cavante Dickerson. And a loss back into Raider territory at the 49. So it's going to bring up second and let's call it second and 23. Let's see where they spot the ball. They need to get down to the 26. So let's call it second and 25.
25. That doesn't happen that often. Lineman shot through the pulling guard spot.
That came down quick before the play they even set up.
Sideline warning?
Maybe a sideline warning against the home team. That's what it is. Sometimes you can call it, you can give a penalty and mark yards off on the first
You're supposed
occurrence.
to give them a right, yeah. You dropped the flag both times, but
depending what's said on the sideline might have something to do with that as well. Second and 25 for the Raiders from their 49. 7-7 is your score. Brown goes in motion. Feaster back to pass. He's got Terrence Marshall here on the near side. He's going to get to the 40-yard line. Down to the 40, so that's going to be a pickup 11. We'll bring up 3rd and 14.
Could be B.B. Brown time here.
3rd and 11 for the Raiders. Actually, about 3rd and 13 for the Raiders. Twins to both sides, the receivers. Hanson goes in motion. Feaster back to pass. Little screen play to Connor Matthews. He's got plenty of yards to run, and he has a Raider first down inside the 25, all the way down to the 22, and a Raider first down. It's a gain of 23 to Matthews.
Good call. Great call.
Raiders 1st and 10 at the Eagles 22, 4:38 on the clock. It's going to be Matthews on the handoff off right tackle. He's going to get down to the 20. Looks like that's going to give him about 3 yards on the carry. Bring up 2nd and 7.
You heard Coach Walls on Wednesday at our coaches show. They have put in some packages for Andre Spence. I don't see Andre in the game, but wait and see if they will do that in the game.
Feaster looks at the sideline, changes up the play call, waiting for the signal. 2nd and 7, Navarre at the Eagles 20. 4 minutes on the clock. 7-7 your score here at Carroll High School. It's going to be a handoff. Actually, it's a keeper by Feaster. He's going to get down inside the 15, all the way down to the 13. A gain of 7. It's going to be about a yard short. Give him 6 yards on the carry. Bring up 3rd and 1. At the 9-yard line. Actually gave him a first down on the carry, Bob.
All right.
So 1st and goal for the Raiders. And a 7-yard run by Feaster. 1st and goal at the Eagle 9. 3:29 on the clock. It's going to be handoff off left tackle. Getting back to the line of scrimmage is Connor Matthews. Actually, he's not inside the 10. It was down to the 12 as a first down. So it's going to be 2nd and 7, a gain of 3 for Matthews. Now let's call it the Eagle 10-yard line. 2:58 and counting here in the first, tied at 7. Delayed handoff to Connor Matthews inside and into the end zone for his 10th touchdown on the season. The Raiders on the board. They scored twice in their first 2 possessions. This time it's Matthews from 10 yards out, and the Raiders back on the board.
Had some penalty problems, too, specifically. Overcame them. Good drive.
Raiders back on the board at the 2:48 mark. Daniels' kick is up and good. Raiders stretch their lead 2-7, 14-7. First meeting between these two teams.
Raider Riley could not make the trip tonight, Bill, so
Connor with 46 yards on 7 carries so far and his 10th touchdown on the season. We're only in game 5.
uh-oh.
There you go. It does that every now and then. Daniel puts the ball down. We have Daniel and Daniels. So Daniel for Navarre. Daniels for Carroll. The Raiders are out of the south end zone here in the first quarter. Carroll defending the north end. Daniel with a kick that comes down at the 8. It is returnable. That's Person on the return. Nice return over the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. And that's where the Eagles will start their second possession. 1st and 10 from the 27.
So is it the teams we play? I mean, we did open up with 2 very exceptional teams, Catholic and Pine Forest, and our offense was stymied.
Is that
yeah.
a new word there, Bob?
It is. And at the Grant, look in the Grant Dictionary, by the way.
1st and 10 Eagles from their 27, 2:40 on the clock, 14-7 Navarre. And a nice run by Person on first down, out over the 40, out to the 42. So a run of 15 for Person and a first down for the Eagles. He ran that off right tackle.
Good block.
Second first down of the game for the Eagles.
Good blocking by the wide receivers.
1st and 10 Eagles from their 42. 2:32 on the clock. The handoff to Person right up the gut. He's met by Vinny Villanova. After a gain of 3 out to the 45. Then a host of other Raiders to join him in the tackle. A gain of 3 for Person, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, we had penetration that time. Tristan Ferreira, the senior, got a hand up in the backfield.
2nd and 7. They're going to send trips to the far side, signal to the near side. Person alone back to the right and behind Keyshawn Cole. Cole's going to throw a pass. He's got his intended receiver, but overthrown just by about a yard. Nice coverage over here by Marquez White on the near sideline. Bring up 3rd and 7. That's our first incompleted pass of the game, Bob.
3rd and about 8, Bill?
And they're going to spot the ball at the 45, 3 on first downs. Let's call it 3rd and 7.
This team's a lot like Tate. They can certainly run from this distance for a first down.
Almost the same colors, too.
Yeah, really.
3rd and 7. Cole in the shotgun. He's going to roll out to his left. Going to pitch back to Person, but nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And it's 4th down, and you're punting.
Yep. May have taken them out of field goal range, too, Bill.
Well, they're on their side of the 40s, so it's going to be a loss of 5 by Person, and it's going to bring up 4th and 12.
Raiders are off next week, Bill Hamill.
Raiders representing in Sweet Home, Alabama. Coach Greenhaw is originally from Athens, Alabama.
Athens.
Up at the top of the state. Daniels back to punt for the Eagles. First punt of our game tonight. Back deep for the Razors. You have 2 back there. Darius Cunningham. Get out of the way of the ball. The Raiders going to have great field position at their own 43-yard line. Well, we saw earlier in the season in the first game against Catholic where we got near the ball. And all I could hear from the next door is saying heater, heater. So that must mean to get away from the heck. Get the heck away from the ball.
Fire is what.
Brady doesn't let me. He said, Dad, that's on a bad snap for a field goal. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, even after
lingo.
15 years. So the Raiders have great field position at their own 44. We're down to 51.1 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is 14-7 Navarre. 34-yard touchdown pass to Terrence Marshall. 10-yard run by Connors Matthews. The lone score is a 43-yard run by Keyshawn Cole for the Eagles.
So the referee went over and talked to Jay Walls and said, get that drone out of the sky. Apparently.
Something different. Maybe they don't allow him in Alabama.
Could be. I don't know of any.
You got to keep it off the field to play. You can do it in the end zones.
Well, it flies fine in Alabama. I mean, in Florida.
Yeah, but we're not in Florida right now. First and 10 for the Raiders from their 44, 51 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. It's going to be a handoff to Matthews. He's going to cut back to the right side, and he may go the distance unless he gets caught inside the 20, and he is going to go into the end zone from 56 yards out, and the Raiders are on the board quickly as they've scored in all three possessions. This time 56-yard run by Connor Matthews, his 11th touchdown on the season.
Went right side. Spalla, B.B. Brown, Jacob Walsh, Charlie Cottrell, good blocking. Also by the wide receivers. And the Raiders get on the board here.
Daniel in for the extra point to put the Raiders up 20-7 right now. PAT pending. No attempt. Offsides against the defense. I'm sure they'll decline it and kick again. But Navarre, what a start here in their first trip to Carroll High School.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Since the Pine Forest game, it's almost looked like they put it into another gear. Still allowing a lot of points, though. But the offense is, Connor Matthews' time.
Daniel in to try the PAT one more time. Point after a
touchdown.
Correct.
As Paul Villanova would say, touchdown Raiders.
Snap is good. The kick is up. And it is good. 21-7 Navarre. 20 for 20 on the season on extra points for Tyler Daniel. So the Raiders with 203 yards of offense here in the opening quarter, Bob.
Wow. We had Eddie Love last year. We had Connor Matthews spelling him.
Well, the one game that Eddie was hurt and he filled in against Pace, he went for 196 yards against Pace in his only start last year.
What's the constant in those?
The offensive line.
Offensive line, yep.
Big Bubba's doing their job. The only one missing is Ethan Newman, who's now playing for Kennesaw State now, up in Georgia.
Yep.
Playing for the Owls of Kennesaw State.
Who?
The Owls. Who?
Gotcha.
The producer checking back in says, "You rah Raiders." I know she's watching the Wisconsin game when she starts talking. That's the old cheerleader coming out of her.
She was a cheerleader?
She was.
I believe that. She's got a great personality.
21-3 Wisconsin. It's a short kick.
Ugh.
And it's going to be Plott with the return as he plotted himself at the 41.
That's going to be a long ride home.
Well, we got to keep each other awake, Bob.
We do. We got to get the tunes.
Most definitely.
Came out with Andy Griffith I think America needs a whole lot more Andy Griffith.
I agree. 1st and 10 for the Eagles after the nice return by Peyton Plott. They're at their own 41 with 32.3 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. 21-7 Navarre on top. Keyshawn Cole is your quarterback for the Eagles. The ball is on the ground.
Navarre's
And it looks like the Raiders are going to recover.
Bad exchange.
The Raiders going to take the short field now at the Eagle 35-yard line. Bad exchange between Cole and Person. It was nothing personable.
Yeah, I think quarterback wanted to run the ball. And he pulled it out, and the running back wasn't going to let go. So some miscommunication, mental mistake.
Double tight end set coming out. Jacob Crowder on the left side. Jack Helton on the far side. Terrence Marshall, your lone receiver. Connor Matthews, the lone back to the right of Hunter Feaster. 1st and 10 Raiders at the Eagle 35. Connor Matthews to the far side, inside the 30. Still on his feet. The little rugger gets inside the 25 and out of bounds at the 23. A gain of 12. And a Raider first down.
Who was the coach next door, Bill? I've not
That
met
would
him.
be, I'll tell you here in just a second.
A flag?
Actually going to bring it back, it looks like.
Did not see a flag. No, I did.
That's Ben holding, so we're going to bring that back. No carry there.
From the spot.
So it's going to be a 10-yard holding penalty against the Raiders.
1st and 9.
First and 9 for the Raiders. Actually call it 1st and 8. From the spot of the foul, Connor Matthews on the carry. Off right tackle as he runs behind 73. That would be Jacob Walsh, the lone junior on the line. Connor Matthews going to gain 2, and that'll bring up 2nd and 6 when we come back from our commercial break. At the end of 1, Navarre 21, Carroll 7 on IrishBillSports.com and Irish Bill Sports Live on YouTube. Got to get the commercials back up here and running. There we go. No commercials running, so we are back at the break from the middle of the second quarter, getting ready to get underway. The Raiders will have a 2nd and 6. Let's call it 2nd and 7. Second and 7 for the Raiders. I give Matthews at 1 yard on that carry there right before we went to the end of the first quarter. Second and 7 for Navarre at the Eagles' 32-yard line. 21-7 Navarre on top, Bob.
Very thankful we don't have any kind of delays in this game, Bill.
It's going to be a handoff to Matthews, still on his feet. Breaks one tackle down near the first down marker. And I think he's going to have enough to get the first down. A gain of 7 for Matthews and a Raider first down.
It's bad enough. Not bad enough, but we're going to get home early after a little bit after midnight.
You're going to move the flags. 1st and 10 Navarre at the Eagle 25-yard line. Just underway here in the second quarter. 21-7 Navarre.
I had a hard time falling asleep last week after that big win.
I didn't get to sleep till almost 2 a.m. It's going to be the keeper by Feaster. He's going to get down to the 22 as he followed a lead block from Connor Matthews. 3-yard gain for Feaster, 2nd and 7. We are at Carroll High School in Ozark, Alabama. First time ever for me and you to do a game up here. I have done baseball games up here before when I worked for Jock Jive, but no football, so this is my first one. 2nd and 7 for the Raiders at the Eagle 22-yard line. Matthews going to punch it to the outside, and we're going to have another holding penalty here on this one's going to be by the tight end. They're right there watching you. You let go, they won't call it most of the time. But it's going to move the ball back out past the 30.
Andre Spence in the game, Bill.
Going to give Connor a breather. No Hunters in there as well. Jack Helton out now as Rylan Reynolds comes back in. So the receivers are Terrence Marshall, Rylan Reynolds, and Nate Hansen. 3 receivers set, single to the near side, twins to the far side. First quarter scored, Niceville 7, Choctaw 0.
Ooh. Hunter was hit as he released the ball, Bill.
And that's his first incompleted pass. 5 for 6 on the night. He had 94 yards in the first quarter.
We surprised Mosley fell again last night to Wakulla. Thursday night game.
Going to be 3rd and about 17 for Navarre. Spence in the backfield. They're going to throw a screen back to B.B. Brown. He's got some room here on the near side. And this white hat likes to, he's got the happy holding flag tonight.
Well, that's his first one, the side judge.
And Jake Walls is not very happy.
Big plays, those holds have.
They had quite a few holding penalty game in the Tate game last week as well. So a first down gain by B.B. Brown is all for naught. Navarre's 3rd holding penalty of the game negates the first down. Now they're going to move the ball all the way back to the 39-yard line, where it'll be, they need to get down to the 15. So 3rd and 24 for the Raiders.
They converted, 3rd and 23, Bill?
They did earlier. So Terrence Marshall out on an island by himself out to the far side. It's going to be Connor Matthews, but you're going to need about 5 or 6 guys to bring him down. As he gets down to the 36, I wouldn't be surprised if Raiders go for it right here, Bob.
Not a bad thought.
121 yards for Connor Matthews on 12 carries here in the first half.
(31-41) be 51-yard field goal.
They are sending Daniel in for the punt. Don't be surprised if the Raiders possibly fake this. They got the big Bubbas out there in the middle of. Nope, he punts it away, and you might as well went for it. Because it's only going to turn out to be about down to the 23. So a 20-yard punt.
Well, it's a field position situation.
So the turnover by Carroll didn't
hurt them.
Didn't hurt them at all, and they still only trail 21-7. All the points in the first quarter. Touchdown pass to Terrence Marshall and 2 Connor Matthews touchdown runs for Navarre. Keyshawn Cole with the only touchdown, a 43-yard scamper for the Eagles. 21-7 Navarre. Eagles come out for their fourth possession of the game, this time from their own 23. 9:08 on the clock here in the second quarter, 21-7 Navarre. There's going to be a handoff to Person off the right tackle. He cuts back, still on his feet, over the 35, out to about the 38.
Just a hold on the tight end there.
It's going to be a gain of 15 for Person and an Eagle first down.
Gasca on the tackle.
They're going to move the ball out to the 38. 8:52 on the clock and running here in the first half. 21-7 Navarre. Have to adjust the chain gang a little bit here. That's the delay.
Working on the chain.
Jessica Walsh checking in. Says, let's go number 73, Jacob Walsh. One of the big bubbas on the offensive line for Navarre. First and 10 Eagles from their 38. 8:24 on the clock here in the second. 21-7 Navarre. Cole's going to sprint out to his right. He's going to cut back, but he's got a host of Raiders right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, second and 10 coming up for the Eagles. The defensive front of Navarre right there, Bob, held their ground.
Sure did, yep. The linebackers, Vinny stuffed the hole. Vinny almost acts like a fourth lineman sometimes.
Second and 10 for the Eagles from their 38. 7:48 and running here in the second quarter. Navarre on top 21-7. They're going to split twin receivers to both sides. Person, your lone back behind senior quarterback Keyshawn Cole. Cole back to pass. And he has a receiver running free across the middle. That's going to go off the hands of Kadarius Leitner, and that's going to be 3rd and 10.
Hit him in the wrong place. Wow.
Nobody picked up the center of the field in the Raiders' secondary, and Leitner was running free. He was running light years.
Yes. Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear. That slant.
Melissa Travis and Raider Riley checking in tonight. Thanks, guys. Wish you could have made it up here, Riley. We're having a blast. 3rd and 10. Eagles from their own 38. 7:27 on the clock. Navarre on top, 21-7. Cole in the shotgun. Person to his left behind him. Twins to both sides. Cole back to pass. He's got a receiver downfield, and he's going to bring it inside the 25. And I think that's the first time I've seen any signals of first down, which in Florida will get you a 15-yard penalty.
Sure did. Got us 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
12. That's going to be a gain down to the 21. A 41-yard gain.
Right in front of the official, too.
To Carson Edwards.
Frankly, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't either.
If they point, that's one thing. If they get dramatic, okay. Yeah, then you're showing off.
So 41-yard gain on 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. They're down at the Raider 21. 6:57 on the clock. 21-7 Navarre. Cole back to pass. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. And that's Joshua Wilson with the first sack of the night for Navarre. All the way back to the 30, a loss of 9. It's going to bring up 2nd and 19.
He didn't have any chance to set up.
Going to move the ball right back to the 30 from the 21, so back him up 9. Powell checking in, saying, let's go Evan Taylor, number 38. Tennessee Shanky says, go Raiders. Thanks, my buddy. 2nd and 19 at the Raider 30 for the Carroll Eagles. They're going to throw a quick out to the near side. He's going to cut back, but great pursuit by Joshua Wilson. And it's going to be no gain. Actually give him 1 yard on the reception to Peyton Plott.
Great one-on-one. Good blocking out there.
gain of 1, so bring up 3rd and 18. Actually, they're going to spot the ball right at the 30, so no gain.
Josh is so fast, Bill, to the ball. And I think they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, and we'll take a timeout with them. Your score with 5:44 to go in the opening half. Navarre 21 and Carroll 7 on IrishBillSports.com and Irish Bill Sports Live on YouTube. We'll be right back.
All Dry is 100% veteran-owned and operated. They have a proven process that guarantees customer satisfaction along with job completion to industry standards. In addition to water and mold remediation, they hold certifications in fire and smoke odor control cleanup, trauma, crime scene, and biohazard cleanup. If you're in the Gulf Coast region, including areas in Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi, you can rely on All Dry 24/7, 365. And you can find them on the World Wide Web at www.myalldry.com/Gulf Coast region.
Third and 18 for the Eagles. Robert Moon checking in, says Wilson looked like Bobby Boucher on that last play.
Bobby Boucher, H2O, Bill.
Third and 18 for the Eagles at the Raider 30, 5:44 on the clock here in the second quarter, 21-7 Navarre. Cole back to pass. He's looking for somebody to throw, and he's going to go down. The ball's on the ground, and the Raiders are going to recover once again at the Eagle 37. This time, Vinny Villanova with the fumble recovery. First and 10, Navarre.
His second of the year, Bill.
Villanova with the recovery. First and 10, Raiders from their 37. Second turnover of the night for Carroll. Matthews back in. At back. It's going to be Feaster on the keeper. He's going to get out to about the 40. Behind Jacob Walsh. It's going to be a gain of about 3 for Feaster. Second and 7, Navarre.
There's a big game going on in South Bend, Indiana tomorrow, Bill.
Just a little bit.
Notre Dame hosting the Buckeyes. Buckeye Mike. I'm sure the householders are listening.
Darius Cunningham checked in, father of Darius Cunningham. Thanks, Darius. Said, let's go Raiders. Second and 7, Navarre. 4:57 on the clock and running here in the second. 21-7, Navarre. Feaster with the quick out to Terrence Marshall. He's going to get to the outside, still on his feet for a Raider first down. Down to the Eagle 48. It's going to be a gain of 12 to Marshall and a Raider first down.
Yards after the catch.
6 first down of the first half for Navarre. First and 10 Raiders at the Eagle 48. Brown and Crowder, your tight ends to the far side. Nate Hansen on the far side, the lone receiver in the game right now. Connor Matthews is in the backfield. And he's going to break one tackle. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Not quite. He's going to lose 2, bring up second and 12.
Maybe setting up this next play, Bill, since it's on that left hash. Pass to Marshall, maybe on a fly pattern.
Crowder and Helton out. Reynolds and Marshall in. Terrence. So Hansen joins Rylan Reynolds here on the near side. Terrence by his lonesome on the far side. Second and 12 for the Raiders. It's going to be a quick hitter to Marshall, and I think he wanted to run before he had it, Bob.
Don't see that very often.
Yeah, you don't see too many drops out of that young man. Third and 12, third and long for the Raiders. The Eagles trying to not let their second turnover hurt them this time as well. They're going to line up Hansen B.B. Brown and Rylan Reynolds to the near side. Terrence Marshall all by himself over there on the far side. Connor Matthews in the backfield as he shifts from the left side to the right side. Brown goes in motion. Feaster back to pass. He's going to take off and run. He's got a lot of room to run. And he's going to have a Raider first down to the 36. A gain of 14 for Feaster and a first down. I wanted to say firster down.
Just the nice pocket presence as the pocket was breaking down.
He jumped inside of the edge rusher on the right side and had a wide open, and he fought his way to the first down marker plus about 2 yards. First and 10 Raiders at the Eagles 36, 3:48 on the clock here in the second, 21-7 Navarre. It's going to be Connor Matthews off the right side. They're going to push him down to the 32-yard line. I'm going to give him 4 yards. They bring up second and 6. 14 carries for 123 yards for Matthews in the first half. His 10th and 11th touchdown on the season.
Eagles will receive the second half kickoff, Bill.
It's called second and 6 for the Raiders at the Eagle 32. It's going to be Matthews off right tackle again. He dives forward down to the 28. Give him 4 more. They'll bring up third and 2. Already 15 carries here in the first half for the junior RB from Navarre. Third and a short 2 for the Raiders at the Eagle 28. Clock running down to 2:38 here in the first half. 21-7 Navarre. They are in 4-down territory from this position. Andre Spence spells Connor Matthews on this play call.
Yeah, I think Connor got hit low.
It's going to be a handoff to Spence. He's got a first down run. Still on his feet. He dives over the 20, all the way down to the 18. It's going to be a gain of 9 for Spence and a Raider first down.
Can't say enough about the Big Bubbas, Bill.
Definitely getting the job done. Getting the job done once again.
Now, Carroll came out in a 3-4. They have gone back to a 4-3 now.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a pass play here.
Could be.
It's going to be a delayed handoff to Spence. Actually, it's Feaster on the keeper. He's going to lose a couple back to the 21-yard line. Actually lose 3. Bring up second and 13. They're going to spot the ball at the 21. Second and 13 for the Raiders.
Clock is rolling. Navarre has all 3 of their
timeouts. Most definitely. Good catch there, Bob.
Rylan Reynolds in the game.
As he spells Jack Helton. They're going to split B.B. Brown, Nate Hansen, and Terrence Marshall to the far side. Second and 13, Navarre. Brown goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Spence. He's going to get to the outside, cut back, still on his feet, inside the 15, all the way down to the 14. Gives Spence 7 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Raiders.
I think Navarre is going to want timeout, and they do take it, Bill.
52.9 ticks on the clock, 21-7 Navarre. Moon says Spence is a violent runner. He sure is.
A violent runner. He is.
One of the most violent runners, and you know where I'm going to go with this one. Crazy Legs. Johnny Robinson was a violent runner, too.
How about, he wasn't violent. He was just sweet.
Jay Warren was kind of a hard-nosed runner, too. Yeah. He played at Florida Atlantic. Chris DeCorte from a couple years back, the diminutive one, was kind of a hard-nosed runner as well.
Florida State has had some fullbacks that have ran hard. I remember their backup quarterback, Dan Kendra.
Well, we got one that's a coach at Central High now, Joe Surratt. Was a fullback at Florida State. He's now the head coach at Central High. They got Matthews and Spence in the backfield. Actually, they're running out of the Wildcat with Spence. He's going to run behind the left side, and it looks like he has enough for a first down. They're going to spot the ball right about the 9, which I think is where they need to get. Let's see what they're going to give him a first down. 4 yards on the carry. Raider first down. First and goal, Navarre.
A live ball.
Navarre with 2 timeouts left, running the clock here. Spence going to run off left tackle, get inside the 5. Raiders going to call timeout with 17 seconds to go. It's going to be a gain of 8 for Spence and a second and goal for the Raiders. Plot on the tackle. Raiders going to have second and goal at the Eagles' 1-yard line. We're under 16.3 seconds to go here in the first half. The Raiders trying to put he said, Robert Moon says, used to see Johnny Robinson sing karaoke. It's very entertaining. I would have to see that to believe that, Robert.
Next week, tune in to
the
Coach's Show. Tune in, that's right.
Actually, Tuesday night will be at Culver's for Irish Bill's Twist on Sports. Bob will not be able to make it. He has other commitments. So Paul Villanova will join us on Tuesday night from Culver's. Wednesday night, the usual crew. But we will actually be welcoming in defensive coordinator
Coach Baggett.
Coach Bagley.
Sorry.
So the Raiders are going to have a second and goal at the Eagle 1. They still have 1 timeout left.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're going to keep the Wildcat package in there with Andre Spence running the Wildcat. They could call it the Wild Raider.
Yeah.
It's going to be Spence on the carry, and he gets in from 1 yard out. Raiders on the board for the 4th time here in the first half. Spence's first touchdown of the season with 8 seconds to go. A 1-yard scamper for Andre Spence. And he was kind of leaving us all in a little bit of suspense there.
Bill, you're on a roll. You're like butter.
Daniel's kick is up and good. 28-7 Navarre. Raiders with 178 yards rushing and 106 yards passing here in the first half. And a 28-7 lead.
I would not even put this ball in the air.
I would do a squib kick down the center of the field. There's a lot of speed on this field on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Peyton Plott, Keyshawn Cole, Lakeith Pearson on Carroll. You got Terrence and Tyrell Marshall, Nate Hansen.
What did I do, Bill?
Connor Black. There you go. Daniel looking at the sideline to see what direction they want him to kick. Let's see if we got a Wisconsin update here. 24-3 Wisconsin in the second half. The Badgers getting it done tonight in their first Big Ten game. Ball is on the field. And I think the Raiders, I don't know if the Raiders recovered or not. It was misplayed at the 35-yard line. There's 4.5 seconds to go. There's going to be one play, whichever team has the ball.
Well, Carroll has it, Bill.
Little fracas there, but not much at all.
Cooper Black, sophomore.
Junior.
Is he?
Yeah, Cooper's a junior and
He
Connor's
sure
a
is.
senior.
Okay.
Had a chance to talk with their parents before the game, Ryan and Allison Black. We're going to have one play left in this first half, 28-7 Navarre on top. Carroll will get the ball to start the second half as the Raiders won the opening toss and decided to take the ball, and they marched right down on their first 3 possessions and put touchdowns on the board. Cole back to pass. It's going to be the last play of the first half. Peyton Plott's going to get all the way. It's just yardage on the stat sheet. Joshua Wilson with the tackle, but it's going to be a gain all the way down to the 19. A 46-yard gain to Plott. Kind of had me worried there for a little bit, Bob.
It did.
He was cutting back and forth, but we're going to go to the half. Navarre 28, Carroll 7 on IrishBillSports.com and Irish Bill Sports Live. And we're going to take a little bit of break and play a little bit of music, play a little bit of word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Thinking about selling your property? Call Ursula Householder of Coldwell Banker Realty in Navarre now. The consultation is free, and Ursula uses the best tools the industry has to offer. Her years as a top producer, relocation specialist, and Florida military market specialist will help you get the desired result. If you are buying, Ursula's experience will help you make an informed decision to find the right home for you. And if you mention this advertisement, Ursula will donate $100 to the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club when the deal closes. To find out if you qualify for any of the military rewards, call or text 850-642-5711 or email ursula.householder@cbrealty.com or go to urhouseholderhomes.com. That's urhouseholderhomes.com. Go Raiders!
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire the right person. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills with the right jobs from the production floor to the front office. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
Great teams have great support. The Navarre Raiders have one of the best support organizations, the Navarre Raiders Quarterback Club. All the members see to it that the Raiders have all available necessities to keep the Raiders on track, whether it's seeing to it that they're properly fed, have good transportation, or making sure that all Raider fans can watch and hear all exciting Navarre Raider football action. The Navarre Raider Quarterback Club is there to make it happen. Thanks, Navarre Raider Quarterback Club, for your support of your winning Navarre Raiders on IrishBillSports.com.
Craig Culver of Culver's.
Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
All Dry is 100% veteran-owned and operated. They have a proven process that guarantees customer satisfaction along with job completion to industry standards. In addition to water and mold remediation, they hold certifications in fire and smoke odor control, cleanup, trauma, crime scene, and biohazard cleanup. If you're in the Gulf Coast region, including areas in Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi, you can rely on All Dry 24/7, 365. And you can find them on the World Wide Web at www.myalldry.com/Gulf Coast region.
Welcome back to Carroll High School. This is Irish Bill. We are at the half right now with Navarre on top 28-7. Sorry, I got a peanut M&M caught my throat there. You want to have a seat there, Paul? Paul Villanova joining me here at the half. Raiders on top 28-7. Go over the first half. What are your viewpoints from the first half, Paul?
You know, came out strong and scored on the first drive, and then they came right back and scored too. So my first thought was, here we go again. It's going to be a repeat of last week. And then defense had a couple stops. Defense got a couple turnovers, had a couple stops, and I think their confidence has grown. And they can't stop us. The only thing that's stopping us so far is the refs.
So far, it was nice to get that extra 7 points down there out of the. I'm calling it the Raider Cat.
The Raider Cat. I think they call it the Black Pearl.
Okay, the Black Pearl. Okay, we know now.
That's their.
And we're both wearing black.
Yep.
Irish Bill's colors here is kind of match the Raiders, but a big 34-yard touchdown pass the Terrace after he got an 18-yard reception on the Jets. I'm finally figuring it out that is a pass. Because if it goes in front of the quarterback, it's a pass. If he takes it behind, then it's a run.
So being a big Patriot fan that you know I am, Brady did that for years.
He did.
And he
padded his stats.
He did. Julian Edelman would come flying by. Brady would basically throw a 1-yard pass.
Well, one thing we had happen earlier this evening, and you should know about deflation, as the Eagles inflated tunnel that they ran through deflated. So you got something in common with the Eagles up here.
I actually called that when that happened. I said, is Brady in the house? And they actually left a player. And did you see one player came out late?
Yeah, he came out late, and it's like he was stuck inside the inflatable. And but the 34-yard touchdown pass to Terrence, 2 touchdown runs by Connor, 56 yards and 10 yards. And then they finished the final touch off with Andre Spence. And you get a fresh Andre Spence in the backfield. That young man runs angry.
He does, and so does Connor. But, I was glad to see 25 go out there because Connor needs a break. You can't run 40 times in a
And he
game.
did the same thing last week, went out with a little bit of cramps, came back and had a big fourth quarter when they needed, especially the go-ahead touchdown run with under 9 minutes to go.
Yep. And like I said, defense is playing. Josh Wilson's having a big game on defense, and they're all playing well. So I do have to give a shout-out to Tyler Daniels' little brother, CJ. I know he's watching back in Navarre. And so, hey, buddy, I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go to the scoreboard here. Fort Walton Beach over Arnold, 35-0. That was expected. Bozeman over Weewaw, 30-6. Niceville over Choctaw, 21-7 at the half. That kind of surprises me a little bit, the way that Choctaw's been playing of late. Bay over Chipley, 14-10 at the half. Freeport over Vernon, 19-6 at the half. Cottondale over North Bay Haven, 20-7. Pine Forest over West Florida in the second quarter, 16-13. Escambia over Milton, 14-0. So it doesn't look like they're going to give up 73 tonight. And First quarter scores we have yet to receive: Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Port St. Joe, Rutherford, Walton, and South Walton, the Battle of Walton County, Lighthouse, PCA in Destin, and Rocky Bayou in Franklin County. Let's go over to the Big Bend scoreboard here, all courtesy of Joshua Wilson of Florida High School Football.com. And then we had a game last night where Wakulla beat Mosley 45-21. They remain unbeaten. They go to 5-0. Dixie County over Jefferson County 42-14. Florida High over Madison County in the third quarter 21-16. St. John Paul II, that's over Leon at the half 19-16.
Wow.
Leon 4-0 on the season already. Valwood and North Florida Christian tied at the half at 21. Osceola Christian over Graceville 17-0. Tiff County, Jay Wall's old school, over Gadsden County 10-0 in the second quarter. Thomas County over Godby 41-6. Sneads at Miller County, it's still a score that has not been reported. I love my buddy Joshua Wilson. Not the one I love the one down here on the field playing, but what the job that he does covering all football games in the state of Florida.
Fantastic.
And he does it with the flag football programs as well.
Wow. What was that Choctaw Niceville score?
21-7 at the half.
Niceville. Wow, that's surprising. And the other one to keep an eye on is that Pie Forest West Florida game. West Florida, we played them in the kickoff classic, and they would look pretty good. They got some athletes, so you never know. Pine Forest coming off a loss last week.
So we get to score back up here, and we'll give you updates as the night goes on. Right here, we're at the half. Let's go over some statistics from our first half action here. In the first half, Hunter Feaster, 6 of 8 for 106 yards and a touchdown. And he also has contributed, 22 yards on 5 carries on the night. Leading receiver, Terrence Marshall with 4 receptions for 75 yards. Rylan Reynolds with 1 for 8, and Connor Matthews with a nice little gain of 23 on a 3rd and 18.
That was a big play.
To give the Raiders a first down and their 3rd touchdown of the first half. And Connor also has 127 yards on 15 carries and his 10th and 11th touchdowns on the season.
Wow, he's running great. And that screen, because they had 2nd and 25. They threw a pass to get about 12 of it back. Then they threw that screen, and he got 15, 16 yards on that. And
yeah, he hit Terrence with a 12-yard pass to make it 3rd and 13, and then they went for 23 on the screen pass to Connor Matthews. And the Raiders with 10 first downs in the first half already, and they had 27 last week in the game against Tate.
Wow, the offense is clicking. Like I said, nothing's really stopping them. And I'm glad, like you said, they punched it in right before the half.
Selby Pritchett checking in, says CJ says, thanks, Mr. Paul.
All right, CJ, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
But the Raiders with their off week next week, their open week, give a chance for those that are a little banged up to get a little bit healed up and get ready for the second half of the season.
With Mosley and Anthony Gassaway I talked to yesterday, and he told me, and this is coming from him, not the coach, but he said, I'm ready to play a Mosley on the 6th. So
I like to hear that.
Anybody coming back?
I was going through some therapy down at Andrews, and I saw Anthony down there going through. He was working hard when I saw him down there. And it'll be nice he's been battling injury since about halfway through last season. And it'll be nice to see him get back on the field.
Yeah, I think actually his freshman year. His freshman year was the first knee surgery, and then he had another one last year. So it'd be great to have him get back. I know he's itching to get back.
Sammy checking in, Pine Forest 16 and West Florida 13. That game being played at Woodham Middle School, where West Florida plays all of their home games now.
All right.
Woodham High School was the home of one Justin Gatlin, and we all remember Justin and all the medals that he brought home in the Olympics.
An aside, I work for a company, Delaware Life, and he works for us. He's our speaker. He's our speaker that goes out and
great guy.
Yep, good people. I see him, talk to him a lot. So.
I mean, the schools in Escambia County and Okaloosa and Santa Rosa that have provided players into major college teams, programs, and into the NFL. Derek Brooks from Pensacola, Washington. Emmett Smith from Escambia. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the players, Graham Gano from Tate, still in the NFL after all these years, still kicking that leather. And you got a lot of players. Wanye Thomas doing his thing now with the Dallas Cowboys. He's a success. Michael Carter playing with the Jets in his 3rd year. I know I'm going to miss people out, but over the years you had Cortland Finnegan that played at Milton. Lawrence Tynes, field goal kicker for the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Jordan
Leggett for Clemson, then the Jets, and then Tampa.
Yep.
We've been blessed with so much talent in the Panhandle.
No doubt. Did you see the picture that the Jets played the Cowboys last week, and Michael Carter and Thomas took a picture holding each other's jersey after the game, and it was kind of neat.
And I can tell you, another young man that's going to be joining him is his younger brother, Azariah, who's playing for Florida State right now. He's a sophomore, I believe, at Florida State, and he'll be in the NFL because I think he's a tad better than Wanye. Don't get mad at me, Wanye, for saying that, but that's my Irish Bill's opinion only.
And they came from where? What high school?
They originally started at Walton High School.
Okay.
And they had a tragic event at their home. I believe they had a house fire or something, so they moved to the Niceville area. They both played their football at Niceville.
Gotcha.
But it is homecoming night here at Carroll, and Navarre is on top, spoiling the homecoming so far. We saw this last week. The Raiders built up a 14-point lead at the half, had a chance to put it away, but they let Tate get back in it, and it was nip and tuck the rest of the way.
It was. I mean, I know you guys documented it. We came out, and we were driving for a touchdown that would have put us up by 21, and we turned the ball over, and all of a sudden we're only up 7, and then they came back and tied it. Have we turned the ball over tonight? I don't think we have.
We have not turned it over yet tonight.
And they've turned it over
twice. Both of them on handoffs.
Both of them on handoffs.
Well, the one handoff and then the one sack in the backfield that forced the fumble.
And the same guy recovered both of them.
Yeah. Who was that?
I don't know. Vinny Villanova or something. Some kid that I happen to know pretty well.
But Joshua Wilson with a sack there.
That was a big sack.
He played, but the one play that impressed me the most with Joshua was they threw a screen. They threw a quick out to the wide receiver on the far side, and he tried to cut back, and Joshua had nothing.
Blew it up.
He said, "No, you're not going anywhere."
That was right after the sack, I think.
It was
the next play. Yeah, he's obviously
he's all over the field.
He is.
I think he's about 5'10", about 185, 180, 185, and he hits like a brick house
with about 0% body fat.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
Seriously.
And we were talking earlier about the young men that we've had on the show. The second week, we had Cameron Pollard, Andre Spence, and
you had
Joshua Wilson. The next week,
yep.
we had Terrence Marshall. Then this past week, we had Tyrell Marshall and Connor Matthews.
Yep.
All have done amazing jobs coming on the Buffalo Wild Wings coaches show on Wednesday night.
They're having a lot of fun. I go back and watch those again and watch their segments. They do a great job.
You may not believe this, but when I get those guys in the seat, I have no idea what I'm going to ask them. Honestly, I don't, and it just comes to me as they sit down because once I get a feel for their personality, I know which direction to go with.
You
the
do a
questions.
good job of that, leading them because they're nervous and they're not sure what Sometimes they just have a one-word answer, and you kind of fill the gap nicely and segue to the next to the next topic.
But we've enjoyed having every one of them on the show, and we're going to have Garrett Bagley on this Wednesday night, and you're going to join me on Tuesday night from Culver's.
Correct, and I think Coach Bagley, if the second half goes like the first, he's going to be happy that.
I have one thing on Tuesday night at Culver's that nobody has taken me up on. I put it out there all the time that if you show up for the show, the first person that shows up, I will buy you dinner at Culver's. So whoever's out there listening, you want to come to Culver's on Tuesday night, it's on me. Dinner is on me. One person, not a whole family of 5 or 10 or whatever is in your family. The first person that shows up, I will buy you dinner at Culver's.
You know what? I'll match it on Wednesday. I'll buy one person dinner at Buffalo Wild Wings on Wednesday.
We want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings for coming aboard this year, not only our show, but being a sponsor of Irish Bill Sports and Irish Bill Sports Live on YouTube. And All Dry Services stepping up this year as well to go with our go-to sponsors every year, Ursula Householder, Stacy Wright, and Jennifer Gomes with University Lending. My wife, I'm not going to call her the producer because she's Express Professionals. I have messed it up again, didn't I? I always mess that up, and I don't know why I always do. And she's going to tell me about it when I get home. I know that.
And then the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club.
Express Employment Professionals.
There you go.
Culver's of Navarre and the Quarterback Club. I can always count on the Quarterback Club club every year. Looks like halftime festivities are here. We're going to go out and take some more words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back for second half action.
Thank you, Bill.
From Carroll High School, Navarre 28, Carroll 7. We'll be back momentarily.
Thinking about selling your property? Call Ursula Householder of Coldwell Banker Realty in Navarre now. The consultation is free, and Ursula uses the best tools the industry has to offer. Her years as a top producer, relocation specialist, and Florida military market specialist will help you get the desired result. If you are buying, Ursula's experience will help you make an informed decision to find the right home for you. And if you mention this advertisement, Ursula will donate $100 to the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club when the deal closes. To find out if you qualify for any of the military rewards, call or text 850-642-5711 or email ursula.householder@cbrealty.com or go to urhouseholderhomes.com. That's urhouseholderhomes.com. Go Raiders!
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire the right person. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills with the right jobs from the production floor to the front office. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
Great teams have great support. The Navarre Raiders have one of the best support organizations, the Navarre Raiders Quarterback Club. All the members see to it that the Raiders have all available necessities to keep the Raiders on track, whether it's seeing to it that they're properly fed, have good transportation, or making sure that all Raider fans can watch and hear all exciting Navarre Raider football action. The Navarre Raider Quarterback Club is there to make it happen. Thanks, Navarre Raider Quarterback Club, for your support of your winning Navarre Raiders on IrishBillSports.com.
Craig Culver of Culver's.
Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Carroll High School. Navarre up at the half, 28-7. Let's go back to our scoreboard to give you some updates. Gulf Breeze over Pensacola at the half, 29-0. Weewalt trailing Bozeman 30-6 at the half. These are all halftime scores. Fort Wall Beach 35, Arnold nothing. Running clock in that one for the second half. Niceville 21, Choctaw 7. Bay 14, Chipley 10. Cottondale 20, North Bay Haven 14. Freeport 19, Vernon 6. Prince Avenue Christian 14, Pensacola Catholic 7. Pine Forest.
That's halftime?
Halftime. Actually, second quarter. Pine Forest 16, West Florida 13, second quarter. Escambia 20-0. Walton 14, South Walton 7 in the first quarter.
It was a Lighthouse Destin score.
No score reported. So we're getting ready for second half action here at Carroll High. Navarre on top 28-7. Carroll will get the ball to start the second half. Raiders in their white jerseys, maroon pants, dark numbers, and white numerals. White helmet with a red stripe going down the middle of the helmet. Mike and Ursula Householder checking in from Huntsville. They're in the Alabama State as well, Alabama State of Mind. And let's see if we got a Wisconsin score. Wisconsin up 27-17 at the end of the third. Purdue has cut it to 10.
Soldier Field thieves nab $100,000 in equipment, says ESPN.
Well, they've been robbing us of enjoyment for quite a while.
I knew you were going there. A burglary. Really?
Go easy, number 64, Auntie Chris. they've been robbing us Bears fans for quite a while.
Just utility vehicles, nothing.
Couldn't have been the offense. The offense hasn't been visible all season long.
Oh, God.
Daniel getting ready to put toe on leather for the 40. The Raiders will be coming out of the north end of the field to start the second half, up 28-7 over Carroll High. Carroll 3-1, Navarre 2-2 on the season. It's the first meeting between these two teams. Daniel with an end overhead kick that's going to take him inside the 10, all the way down to the 6. Plot has it at the 6-yard line. He's going to return it out over the 25, out to the 28. Call it to 27, a return of 18. And the Eagles will get started right there with their opening possession of the second half. First and 10 Eagles from their 27.
See what kind of halftime adjustments the Eagles did.
Patrick Plott, the head coach of the Carroll Eagles. First and 10 Eagles. We're getting ready to get underway here in the second half. Keyshawn Cole in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Person. He's going to get to the outside, but he's going to be run down by Andre Spence after a gain out to the 31. Give him 4. Will bring up second and 6.
Had a little backfield in motion there, Mr. Hamill. No flag.
Raiders with 284 yards of offense in the first half. The Eagles with 184. A gain of 4. They're actually a good spot out to the 40, out to the 32. They're actually going to give him 5 yards on that carry. Second and 5. Keyshawn Cole is going to. They have a
drop the ball again.
Drop the ball again in the backfield. There's going to be a loss back to the 29. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. Tristan Ferreira with the tackle and the tackle for loss.
Is that considered a sack?
I think it's just a tackle for loss because he was running. He's kind of running for his life.
Exactly.
3rd and 7. 3rd and a long 7 for the Eagles from their 29. 10:38 on the clock here in the second half. In the third quarter, just underway. They're going to run a screen play, but it's going to get back to the 31, a gain of 2.
Good defense there.
That reception was Jarman with the catch. So the Raiders make the Eagles punt on their first possession. The first half, a big play there on the last play from scrimmage, but 4 of 6 for 112 yards for Keyshawn Cole. Leading ground carrier was Cole as well with 34 yards on 5 carries, 37 yards on 6 carries for Lakeith Person. That was kind of a running kick, and it goes off the side of his foot. So the Raiders need to get away from the ball, and they'll have great field position at their own 46.
Yeah, he was booming them at halftime, practicing.
So the Raiders will have great field position to start the second half, up 28-7 with 9:31 to go. Raquel Mendoza checking in, said, let's go 64. It's easy.
Easy.
First and 10 Raiders from their 45. Connor Matthews back in there. Hunter Feaster still at the helm for the Navarre offense. First and 10 Raiders from their 45. It's going to be a handoff. No, it's a keeper, and I'm sure we're going to call another holding penalty. That's the 4th holding penalty against Navarre tonight. Their 4th penalty in the ball game.
I mean, on running plays, the white hat responsibility, and I've white hatted a few games in my life, trails the play. And sometimes you have that garbage, as we call it, behind that happens. That's what he's looking for. I mean,
Getting updates from Niceville. Niceville at the half, 21-7 over Choctaw. Dave Birch, Pac-12 Dave, giving us updates.
All right.
It's going to be a handoff to Connor Matthews up the guts. He's going to dive over the 40, out to the 41, give him 6 yards. They need to get down to the 45 of Carroll. They're going to spot the ball at the 42. It's going to be 2nd and 13. From the Raider 41, handoff up the gut to Matthews. He's stymied right there before he pushes over out to the 45-yard line.
Takes 8 players to take him down.
A gain of 3 will bring up 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. Matthews with 137 yards on 17 carries, 2 touchdowns, 56-yard and 10-yard runs.
Rylan Reynolds in the game.
Raiders in passing down here, 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. Matthews shifts from right to left, play clock down to 4. Feaster going to jump up in the pocket. Marshall goes through his hands once again. And the Raiders will send out the punt team. That is 4th down, is it not? Yep. So bring out 4th and 10 for the Raiders. Tyler Daniel in for his 2nd punt of the night. And
sideline warning.
Sideline warning against Navarre. 1 for each team now. They've had their warnings. Next time you're going to have your nose put in a corner.
Yeah. Draw a circle on the board. Chalkboard.
And not allowed to turn around until told to.
Yeah.
4th and 10 for the Raiders. Daniel standing on his own 30, waiting a long snap from Vinny Villanova. It's a good snap, back. And this kick goes straight up and goes out of bounds at the Raider 36.
It'll go back further. Unnecessary roughness against Ozark. extracurricular activity.
Gotta hate when that happens.
Hate it when that happens.
There is a flag sitting at the 38-yard line.
Sitting? How about Lane?
We're going to walk it back 15. This is only the second penalty against Carroll tonight. So it should push him back to about the 21-yard line, actually the 26-yard line. Only the second penalty of the night against Carroll for 20 yards. First and 10 Eagles from their own 26. 7:28 on the clock. 28-7 Navarre on top here in the third quarter. Cole back to pass. He's getting great protection from his offensive line. He's got a receiver wide open to kind of drop coverage. And Plott still on his feet. Still on his feet. And he's going to get in for the score. What a run by Peyton Plott. 74-yard touchdown passes. He broke about, I think every Raider had a chance to tackle him right there.
Yeah, a lot of sloppy tackling there.
That cuts the lead to 28-13.
He kind of blended in with the players on the sideline.
And the Eagles looking to cut it to 14 here. 7:05. And it's going to be attempt is not even attempted. So it will remain 28-13. $74-yard touchdown pass from Cole. He was wide open at about the 40. Nobody even saw him out there. Like he came from the sideline and just stood there.
Yep.
He blended in. And that came at the 7:05 mark of the third. Kick, no 2-point. Actually, that was an attempted kick, but it was bat snap and no good. 28-13 Navarre.
Do you think they'd try an onside kick here, Bill?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Destin is winning 28-0. Badgers are up on Purdue 30-17 in the fourth quarter. Thank you, Miss Producer. I would not be surprised. The Raiders should be a little bit leery right here, Bob.
Jacob Weaver, I see on the front line.
28-13, Navarre over Carroll. Last week, Carroll was down 24-7 before they came back and scored the last 27 points of the game. And the Raiders are going to return it. This time, Nate Hansen still on his feet. Over the 30, out to about the 33-yard line. Hansen's going to return it out to the 33-yard line. A return of 25 for Hansen. The Raiders going to have first and 10 from their 33. 6:58 on the clock, 28-13. Navarre over Carroll here on IrishBillSports.com and Irish Bill Sports Live on YouTube. Connor Matthews with the carry. He's going to dive forward, and that's kind of a late hit there, but they don't throw anything as he was falling on the ground. Sort of got, maybe not. I stand corrected. Gain of 4 for Matthews, 2nd and 6. DeMaurier Carter with the tackle for Carroll. Raiders 2nd and 6 from their 37. They tried to jet sweep with Marshall, but he's going to get back to line of scrimmage for no gain. Going to bring up 3rd and 6. Ball at the 37 of Navarre. 28-13, Navarre on top. Feaster back to pass. He's got a receiver wide open.
He's got it.
He's got it. And they're going to spot it. Down all the way down to the 18.
Heck of a throw. Great
45-yard connection from Feaster to Marshall. His 5th catch of the night for 120 yards.
That was a big one, too, because you started to feel a little momentum shift. Penalty flag on the ground.
Matthews with the carry down inside the 15, actually down to the 15. But there is a flag in the backfield.
Legal motion.
Legal shift against Navarre. Back him up 5. So Marshall with 5 receptions for 120 yards and a touchdown. That's going to move the ball back outside the 20-yard line, back to the 22. 1st and 15 for Navarre. 28-13, Navarre on top with 5:39 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Marshall's going to split to the far side. Only receiver out there with Nate Hansen. It's going to be Feaster on the keeper. He's got a nice run inside the 20, all the way down to the 15. Give him 8 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and actually that'll be 2nd down, but the penalty, a gain of 8 for Feaster. 37 yards on 6 carries for Hunter, all the way down to the Eagle 15. It'll be 2nd, and let's call it a long 7. Hansen goes in motion. It's going to be a counter to Connor Matthews, and he's going to go in the end zone from 15 yards out. His 3rd touchdown of the night, and he stops and poses for the camera.
Good block near the goal line.
Touchdown number 12 on the season for Matthews.
Baby Brown.
This one comes at the 4:46 mark of the 3rd. 15-yard run. He's had 3 straight games now with 3 or more rushing touchdowns. That kick is up, and it is good. Daniel remains perfect on the season. 22 of 22.
Daniels, yeah.
Tyler Daniel. Mm-hmm. It's Xenia Daniels for Carroll. So 19 carries on the night for Matthews for 156 yards. Navarre 35, Carroll 13. With 4:46 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So a big answer right there, Bob.
Yeah, I started to feel a little momentum shift. Nice drive by the Raiders.
Daniel gets the play call. We are on TV tonight, so that's a little bit of the delay. It's a line drive kick. It's going to go inside the 5, all the way back to the 4-person with the return. Joshua Wilson going to try and track him down. He doesn't. A nice return for Person. Out over to the 35, out to the 37. A return of 33 for Lakeith Person. And that's where the Eagles will get their possession started at their own 37.
I wonder if he's related to Chuck Person. Played basketball for Auburn.
So the Eagles going to start from their own 38. Raiders on top 35-13 with 4:35 to go here in the third. We're at Carroll High School tonight in Alabama. He tries to find Plot over here on the near side. Nice coverage over there by Marquez White.
They've decided they're going to pick on the sophomore.
He's held his own tonight.
He has all season, Bill. I mean, you don't find very many sophomores starting
at corner.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
Shanky goes, he's just a people person.
Oh, there you go. Shanky, I did pick Florida to lose to Tennessee, by the way, but
I did too.
Yeah. I think we all did.
Yeah, we all lost that game. That was only one of the 2 games that we lost.
So Navarre is going to be penalized.
That's starting to get to be a common theme here. I don't know what that, behind the back. Sideline warning is going to be marked off this time. Is it 5 yards or 15?
5.
So it'll be 1st and 5 at the Eagles' 43-yard line.
Well, they're not cutting the visitors from Florida any slack tonight, that's for sure.
We don't need any. First and 5 for the Eagles from their 43. Cole back to pass. He throws this one up. And Plott was underneath it. He looked over the wrong shoulder early on, and that kind of threw his judgment off of the flight of the ball, Bob.
Most certainly. That's 2 or 3 wide open drops, Bill, tonight.
6 of 10 passing for 188 yards and a score for Keyshawn Cole. But they have limited the running attack of Carroll to 71 yards rushing here through the 2.5 quarters. 2nd and 5 for the Eagles from their 43 with 4:23 on the clock. 35-13 Navarre on top.
Look for a bubble screen here. They're lining up
Trips
for
to the
it.
far side. He lined up off the sides, but no, he's just stepped back. 2nd and 5. Cole's going to be.
He underthrew it, but he caught it.
Out there, Lakeith Person with the reception inside the 30. All the way down to the 26.
Darius Cunningham, a little late getting over there.
31 yards on the reception. First down, Eagles. First down at the Raider 26 with 3:59 on the clock. 35-13, no play. Think we have movement against Carroll. That is the call. Their 3rd penalty of the night for 25 yards. Back them up 5, 1st and 15. They're going to spot the ball back at the Raider 31. First and 15. Eagles at the Raider 31. 3:40 on the clock and running here in the third. 35-13 Navarre. They're going to run a little screen pass to the back out of the backfield. I think he caught it, so it's going to be a loss back to the 36-yard line. That was Lakeith Person, 5-yard loss.
That hasn't happened to him too much tonight, Bill.
That's twice now that that's happened to him. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 20. Actually, 2nd and 20. Lost back to the 36. So they need to get down to the 16 for a first down. 2nd and 20. Twin split to both sides for the Eagles. Person alone back in the backfield. They're going to throw it. The pass was intended. It's incomplete. Will bring up 3rd and 20. They've kind of disbanded the run game here, Bob, trailing by 22.
Nice fill up 35-7, says Joe Settle. Wow. Who's on the chain gang.
He's going to get his game back. We got one last night. We both picked Choctaw in that win. So,
yeah. Had a hunch.
3rd and 20 for the Eagles at the Raider 36. Cole back to pass. He's feeling pressure.
Right in front of the referee, Bill.
And he's going to get some of the yardage back, but it's still going to be 4th down. He's going to scramble down to the 21-yard line, a gain of 16, and it's going to bring up 4th and 5 for the Eagles.
You saw it right in front, as we did.
He's going to get down to the 21. 4th and 5 coming up for the Eagles. Hey, our Irish Bill and that Kashik checking in. What's the score? It just got home. 35-13. West Florida over Pine Forest, 20-16. 11 minutes to go. Cole back to pass.
Spence. Oh, did he get it? Oh!
Almost intercepted, but the Raiders didn't need it because that was 4th down. The Raiders are going to take over on downs on the incompleted pass.
Good pressure by Andre Spence on that play.
He made Cole get rid of it a little bit quicker than he wanted to.
He did. Good coverage also in the secondary.
35-7. That surprises me a little bit. The score, not that Niceville's winning, just the score right now, 35-7, because Choctaw has been putting some points up on the board.
Well, didn't they get shut out in their opener against Pace?
No, they got beat up pretty good against Pace.
Yeah, I think it was a shutout.
Navarre 1st and 10 from their own 21 as the Raider defense stepped up. 8 minutes to go in the Wisconsin game, 30-17.
Ooh.
Feaster on the keeper. Looks like he's going to gain about a yard. Bring up 2nd and 9. Actually give him 2. 2nd and 8. Hunter with 39 yards on 7 carries on the night. And 7 of 10 passing for 151 yards and a score. 2nd and 8 for the Raiders from their 23. Connor Matthews off left tackle is going to cut back. And there's a face mask penalty. He's still on his feet, out to the 32. It's going to be a 1st down run for Matthews. A gain of 9 for Matthews and a Raider 1st down. And they should be adding a little bit more yardage to this one. So he got 9 yards on the carry out to the 31. Gives the Raiders a 1st down. And they should mark off 15 here.
Should.
Or only a 5-yard penalty. Okay. 1st down, Navarre.
Didn't think there was a difference in high school.
1st and 10 Raiders from their 37. 1:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. 35-13 Navarre. Matthews going to go right up the gut, right behind his center, Charlie Cottrell, out to the 40. Give him 3 more yards. The 2nd and 7 coming up for Navarre on the 21st carry by Connor Matthews for 168 yards. Lucille Gaskin checking in. I know who she's rooting for, number 64. Easy. 8 minutes to go in the Purdue-Wisconsin game, 30-17, Wisconsin on top. For those that aren't watching, they're going to get Matthews 3 out to the 40. Raiders will have a 2nd and 7 as we wind down here in the 3rd quarter with 32 ticks left. 35-13 Navarre. Play clock down to 7. Brown goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Matthews. He runs behind his left side, and he's going to get out to the 43, it looks like. Give him 3 more yards, and that should be the last play of the third quarter. The Raiders find themselves out on top, 35-13, as they outscored Carroll in the third, 7-6. That was our last play. Let's take a break. Navarre 35, Carroll 13. The Raiders will have a 3rd and 4 coming up when we come back from our commercial break.
All Dry is 100% veteran-owned and operated. They have a proven process that guarantees customer satisfaction along with job completion to industry standards. In addition to water and mold remediation, they hold certifications in fire and smoke odor control cleanup, trauma, crime scene, and biohazard cleanup. If you're in the Gulf Coast region, including areas in Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi, you can rely on All Dry 24/7, 365. And you can find them on the World Wide Web at www.myalldry.com/Gulf Coast region.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
Welcome back to Carroll High School. Irish Mill with Seminole Bob, 35-13 Navarre. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, the Raiders will have a 3rd and 6 as Andre Spence comes in to run the Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl.
Spence with a nice first down carry, still on his feet into Eagle territory, down to the 40, and a Raider first down.
Well, Coach Wall said they had some packages in for him at times, just when they need a spark. Good running. He's staying in the game.
Gain of 16 for Spence. Raiders first down at the Eagles 40. Just underway here in the fourth quarter, 35-13. Spence off left tackle, running hard, running angry, and he's down to the 33. Give him 7 more. Spence with 52 yards on 7 carries. Cramping up a little bit. Or maybe not. Speaking of the Black Pearl, he's protecting the family jewels right now.
Yeah, I think he got hit low. That Connor Matthews got hit low. You know, on the bottom of the pile, you never know what happens.
Connor Matthews, a late handoff, gets the carry off left tackle, still on his feet, pushing forward inside the 25, all the way down to the 23. A gain of 9, and it should be enough for a Raider first. Actually, they haven't moved the chain yet.
No, they do.
Now they do. A gain of 9 for Matthews on his 23rd carry of the night for 180 yards. First down Navarre. 15 of first downs on the night. Raiders are 7-3 against all-time against teams from Alabama. First and 10 Raiders. The handoff, actually a keeper by Feaster. And he's going to get down inside the 20, down to the 17. It's going to be a gain of 6 for Feaster. The Raiders will have a 2nd and 4.
Braxton Barr, I think that's Braxton Barr, getting some reps on the offensive line, was the injured player.
Now we're going to see Peyton Robinson for the first time, the freshman, number 52, coming in to replace Barr there. Glad we can't repeat some of the stuff that's said in the room next to us.
That would be the coaches. That is not us. What are you
Pace
doing in the
beat
morning?
Choctaw 41-17.
Who?
Pace beat Choctaw 41-17 to
Pace
start
didn't
the
play
season.
Choctaw.
To start the season.
Oh, yes.
You were
Okay.
asking about the
Yeah,
score.
yeah.
Thanks, Sammy, for the score there.
Sorry, Sammy. You're right. I'm wrong.
I thought it was 15 yards in high school as well. Must be the severity of the face mask.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Raiders will have a 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard run by Hunter Feaster. 38 yards on the night for Hunter on 8 carries. 52 yards for Andre Spence on 7. 180 yards on 23 carries for Connor Matthews. 12 touchdowns on the season for Connor in game number 5. Spence into the lineup. They're going to run Matthews out of the Black Pearl. And he's still on his feet inside the 15. He's going to have a Raider first down to the 11. Give him 5 yards and a Raider first down. And that would be nice that we got possible rumor that, well, I don't know if it's rumor, but Anthony Gasway might be back for the Mosley game in 2 weeks.
Yes, that was.
Now they're going to switch and put Spence in the Wildcat. He's going to get to the outside, still pushing forward, still into the end zone. From 11 yards out, Andre Spence with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Raiders have pushed their lead out to 28, 41-13.
Isn't that called the Black Pearl or the Pearl?
Well, normally it's a Wildcat, but the Raiders version is called the Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl. Oh, it was Talk Like a Pirate Day this week, too.
Talk like a pirate?
Yeah.
Arr.
Arr. It's a pirate's favorite letter. Arr.
Arr. Daniel's kick is up and good. 42-13. So this is the 3rd straight game that Navarre has put up over 40 points. 45 in back-to-back games against Rickards and Tate. 42 tonight against Carroll. Still 10 minutes to go in this ball game, Bob.
Yeah, I mean.
So we might see some of the reserves get some playing time here in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, Coach Walls was saying the rules for playing the quarter rule, the 6-quarter rule, is different in Alabama. They end Thursday night and begin Friday. So literally that means
they can play the whole game.
Yeah.
If they played the whole game last night, they can play the whole game again tonight.
Yeah, but I don't know if that applies to Navarre.
Daniel getting ready to put toe on leather from the south end. (35-14), 37 seconds to go in the 3rd. Choctaw trailing. Nice tackle on special teams by Cooper Black. Wait, let me see. Yep, Cooper Black out there. $9:50 to go here in the 4th quarter. Getting updates from Pac-12 Dave on the Niceville game.
I would love to go to Pensacola and watch the game again in Seville. We had a blast last week. We're going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, Bill Hamill. 11 a.m.
Nice.
11
That's where we
a.m.
watched the first game against LSU.
Yep. Well, watch what you're saying about Bill Hamill.
Coach, I didn't even know you knew how to get to Alabama. 1st and 10, Eagles from their 15. Cole's going to get to the outside. He's going to get a nice gain out to about the 21. Give him 6 yards to bring up 2nd and 4.
Roman Marshall warming up on the sidelines.
So we may see Roman here the rest of the game. They're going to actually give him 7 yards on that. 2nd and 3. Cole in the shotgun. Back to pass. Going to throw a quick hitter. What a catch by Plott. And he's probably gone. What one heck of a catch by Peyton Plott. And he takes it 79 yards for a score. Another one-play drive. Actually, two-play drive there for Carroll. They get in at the 8:55 mark. That one's 79-yard connection.
They're going to go for 2 here, Bill.
Going for 2 to get it back on track. 42-19 is your score. $79 yards. 224 yards on 5 receptions for the young man. It was a one-handed grab. They just got in. 2-point conversion is successful as they went to Person out of the backfield. (42-21). Lakeith Person with the conversion on the reception.
Hands unit coming in.
42-21. With
Hunter Feaster on the hands unit.
8:55. Darius Cunningham, Terrence Marshall, Connor Black, Connor Matthews, Tyrell Marshall. (42-21) Navarre with 8:55 to go on homecoming night here at Carroll High. (35-14) Niceville over Choctaw. 29-14 Chipley over Bay. 28-0 Destin over Lighthouse. Bozeman over Weewaw 49-6. West Florida over Pine Forest 2016. Vernon over Freeport 22-19. Walton over South Walton 21-14. North Bay Haven over Cottondale 28-20. Escambia over Milton 21-0. Prince Avenue over Catholic 21-7. Gulf Breeze over Pensacola 29-0. Fort Walton Beach beat Arnold 56-0. The fastest scoreboard show in world history.
Say again?
The fastest, most rapid it is. Rapid. That was one of the quickest scoreboards I ever done.
Oh, yes. Will you say that again, Bill?
No.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, that was the quickest scoreboard I ever done.
Oh.
So the Raiders recover. I believe that was number 3, Vinny Villanova with the recovery on
Vinny's all over the place.
On the onside kick. Let's see what's going on at the Big Bend.
A lot of games in Tallahassee tonight.
Leon still trailing St. John Paul II 19-16. North Florida Christian over Valwood 28-21. Sneed's trailing Miller County 14-13. 1st and 10 Raiders from their 48. Roman Marshall, actually no, that's still Hunter Feaster in the backfield. That's going to be Connor Matthews off left tackle. He's going to sneak into Eagle territory down to the 46, give him 5 yards on the carry. In fact, that's his 25th carry, so I have to start a new column.
Just like they're going to the Black Pearl again.
25 carries, 190 yards, 3 touchdowns for Connor Matthews. The Raiders with 291 yards rushing, 151 passing on the night. Raiders running that play clock down too, as we're down to 8:07 in the fourth quarter, 42-21 Navarre. And
we weren't even at halftime last week.
No, we weren't. We were still in the second quarter. It's going to be a delay handoff. Actually, a keeper for Hunter Feaster. He's going to be tackled after a gain down to the 43. Give him 3 yards on a carry. He'll bring up third and 2. Actually, give him 4. It'd be third and 1. Raiders using all of that play clock, Bob.
Yep.
And they're in the huddle about 4 yards from the ball.
Notice that.
Play clock down to 15. Game clock down to 7:06. 42-21 Navarre. Out of the huddle, third and 1 for Navarre. Feaster's going to lunge forward. Looks like he has enough for the first down. A gain of 2 and a Raider first down.
Ran over P.P. Brown on that.
17th first down of the game for Navarre. And I think that'll be the last play for Hunter Feaster.
No.
Maybe not. They're going to send Andre Spence back out there to run the Black Pearl. Play clock, they're using every bit of it. We're down to 6:40, 6:39, 6:38. Play clock down to 28.
So they use a 40-second clock instead of a
40-second clock.
In Alabama?
In Alabama.
Holy moly.
Big number 64. Easy.
How did he get his name?
It's Ezkiel.
Ezekiel.
First and 10 Raiders. Andre Spence on the Black Pearl all the way down to the 38. Give him 2 yards. Second and 8. The Raiders with 299 yards rushing on the night. 45 carries tonight for the Raider rushing attack. 299 yards.
What's the record?
It's in the 50s. 50s to, I think, almost 60 in a game. Spence bringing the Black Pearl offense back out. We may be making this all up. I don't know. But that's what we're going to call it. Second and 8 for the Raiders. They're going to have motion.
What was that?
Spence dives down to the 30 for the first down, but I think we have motion against Navarre.
Illegal shift.
That will stop the clock.
I don't understand.
Going to back him up 5 yards.
I've never seen a white hat throw as many flags.
Yeah, he's been earning his keep tonight. Second and 13 for the Raiders at the Eagle 43, and that's all it's doing is running time off the clock.
Yeah. This was not a home game. I mean, it was an open date, was it not, Bill? And they just moved homecoming up.
Spence is going to run out. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. That's mano-mano.
We call those board drills?
Yeah. I mean, that was one-on-one drills right there. And that was Desmond Parker he stood Andre up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
But he never put him down.
Never put him down. Actually, he's going to gain 1 on the play. That puts the Raiders right at 300 yards rushing on the night. Game clock down to 4:10, 4:09. Play clock down to 10. Raiders still in formation. Break huddle. Feaster back in. Feaster's going to get to the outside. You're going to get tackled on the outside by Lakeith Person, but not before he gets back to the 36. A gain of 5 for Feaster. We'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and a long 8, 7, 6.
Eagles call time.
Eagles call timeout. We'll have a 4th down coming up for Navarre.
Did we have a water break this period?
No water breaks in Alabama.
Really?
We have not had a water break all night.
They had one in the first quarter, I thought.
Nope.
Okay.
Have not called a water break all night.
Well,
Raiders are going to have 4th and 6 from their Eagle 36. 3:45 on the clock. Navarre on top, 42-21.
We thank you. Many, many, many hundreds of people joined us tonight from Vermont and Arizona and Tennessee and Alabama and
Vermont. Yeah, you said Vermont.
And Navarre, Florida.
And we have Tennessee Shanky, but he's from Florida. He's from the Pensacola area. 4th and 6 for the Raiders. They're going to line receivers up. Off right tackle to Matthews. He's down the far sideline, still on his feet. And he's going to get out of bounds at the...
Put the ball down, guys.
At the 12, 11. That's going to be a gain of 25 for Matthews. And that's going to put him up to 215 yards on 26 carries. From the 37 down, actually the 36 down to the 11. So a gain of 25. 215 yards on 27 carries for Connor Matthews. 3:37 on the clock. Raiders 18th first down on that carry. Matthews off left tackle, still on his feet. He dives forward to the 3-yard line, a gain of 8. 28th carry on the night for Matthews to match his number.
Yep.
He said, my mom's friend's name was Ezekiel, so she liked it, that, and then in football, it's always been an easy kind of thing. I like it.
Sounds good to me.
And every Gasket checking in said, that's my big brother, Easy. Second and goal for the Raiders. 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain by Matthews. Matthews going to get the handoff. He's pushing forward and into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the night, 13th on the season. And the Raiders push their lead out to 48-21. .235 on the clock, and that should about do it, Bob.
Absolutely. Player down for Navarre. Nope. For
so 29 carries on the night for Matthews for 226 yards and 4 touchdowns. We've had some big numbers out of a few players tonight, Bob.
we have.
Let's see if we got a final. We got our good friend Dickie Betts checking in from Hong Kong. Yes, indeed.
Shut
My
up.
good friend Dickie Betts lives over by Hidden Creek Golf Course. I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but he's a pilot, so he's in Japan.
Okay.
When he was a little football player, he was called Easy Money. Easy Gasca. Daniels' kick is up and good. Perfect on the night for Daniels. 7 for 7. The Raiders stretch their lead to 49-21. Very impressed with the facilities here at Carroll High.
We appreciate it.
When I was walking across the field as we were coming over to our side, the grass was a little tall. I was a little worried.
I did too. Trying to slow the runners down a little bit.
It hasn't slowed anybody down tonight.
No.
The Raiders with 341 yards rushing, 151 yards passing, 492 yards of offense on the night. Carroll with 298 yards passing, 89 rushing for 387. So if your appetite is a lot of points,
Pac-12 football,
and a lot of yards, you are enjoying tonight's broadcast. I would do a squib kick. I wouldn't kick it anywhere near number 2 or number 4. That one's going to actually bounce down to the 1 yard line. Lakeith Person with a nice return. And he's going to be tackled by 22. That would be Allie Bryant on the special teams tackle.
Sophomore.
They set up a nice wall over here to the near side.
Somebody came flying. That may have been Cooper.
We're going to see some new faces. We'll try to get some of these new faces. Bryce Moore out there at safety. Defensive line, Bryce Wheeler.
Yeah. Freshman.
Trying to see some of the other numbers out there.
62.
Would be Jaden Boatner.
Yeah.
First and 10 Eagles from their 40. Cole back to pass. He tried to find his intended receiver down around the 32. Falls incomplete. I don't have a name for that number.
Ryder Longo, sophomore. 37.
Also out there, Evan Taylor, number 38. 54 out there as well. Rowan Strom. 36. Colin Starr. Actually, that's 35. That's Mason Baker. And 37 out there as well. Ryder Longo, as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. Second and 10 for the Eagles from their 40. 2:15 on the clock. 49-21 Navarre.
That's a lateral.
That is a run. Lakeith Pearson's going to get out over the 40, out to the 42, give him 2 yards on the run, and that will be 3rd and 8.
Well, Bill, the game does not start till 11 a.m. I know you have a show, a remote to do in the morning.
Yes, I do. My game doesn't start till 6:30.
So I'm saying, we can kind of take our time. Ooh. Going back, we don't need the speed. Which you didn't. You were very safe. Did not hit any deer. Oh, dear.
23 on the reception.
That's a first down.
Out to the Raider 47. A gain of 10. Cole back to pass. He hits Pearson out of the backfield. He's going to get yards down to the 44. It's going to be a gain of 3 to Pearson. Taylor on the tackle. Second and 7 for the Eagles at the Raider 44. We're down to almost a minute to go in the game. 49-21 Navarre.
Boy, he's fast.
He's going to get yards of gain down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 10 for Cole and a Eagle first down. Down under a minute. 59 seconds to go here. Well, Raiders are going to improve all-time to 8-3 against teams from Alabama.
Yep.
Wisconsin wins 38-17 over Purdue. Way to go, Badgers. First and 10 Eagles at the Raider 32. 49-21, Navarre on top. Cole back to pass. He's feeling pressure. Bryce Wheeler from the outside throws it up.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't really matter because that young man went up and caught it anyways.
Pass interference. And they'll probably go for 2.
32-yard pass to Plott. His 6th catch on the night. 3 touchdowns, 256 yards with 46.5 on the clock. That one from 32 yards out. They are kicking the extra point here. Kick is up. Kick is good. 49-28. Cole with 12 of 19 for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns. Most of them here in the second half in garbage time. Open week for the Raiders next week, and I think I just heard Carroll's off next week as well. Eufaula Trackers.
Trackers?
I think that's what he said. Or tractors. Tractors.
I don't think they're tractors. I thought they were. I thought.
But you know what? I wonder if they think their tractors sexy.
Bill. 2.5 hours with you in a car. We better get the tunes. We better stop and get something to eat also.
The Raiders Special Hands unit is out there. You're in good hands with the Navarre Special Teams.
Yeah.
This one back deep. It's going to be Connor Black, and he's just going to go out of bounds after a 10-yard return.
39 seconds, so if he stepped out, it'll be a live ball.
39 seconds on the clock. I'm sure we...
Now the clock's at 25. I don't understand that.
Hunter Feaster back out there. Connor Matthews. They're thinking to say, you guys keep throwing the ball on us. We're going to keep on. I think they're going to go victory formation here. And Feaster's just going to kneel down. And the Raiders are going to win on this night, move to 3-2. Carroll falls to 3-2. The Raiders, both teams have a week off next Friday night, and the Raiders will be back at home for homecoming against Mosley. And what a game here, folks. I want to thank our sponsors once again. Culver's of Navarre, All Dry Services, Gulf Coast Region, Ursula Householder, Express Employment Professionals, University Lending Group, Navarre Raider Quarterback Club, and our latest one, Buffalo Wild Wings. This has been, we're not done yet. We still got to go over stats real quick, and we've got to do our players of the game. Let's figure this out real quick, Bob. We're not going to run off our commercials. We're going to tear down as soon as we can. Connor Matthews, 29 carries for 226 yards, 4 touchdowns. How about our Ian Lockwood player of the game?
No question.
Matthews, and I think we got to go over to Carroll for our offensive player of the game. One Mr. Peyton Plott.
Excuse me, the junior.
Listen to this, folks. 6 receptions, 256 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Plott.
What did Cole throw for?
338 yards. And rushed for 67.
Yeah,
so 405 yards of total offense. Your defensive player of the game. I would like to throw my hat in the ring for one Joshua Wilson.
Yeah, Joshua Wilson.
And our special teams player of the game, let's go back to Tyler Daniel, 7 for 7 extra points. You got anybody else that
No, not really. I was thinking Vinny Villanova, he made a couple tackles, but no, Tyler's good. It's good.
7 for 7. That makes him now, I think, 24 for 24 on the season. No field goal attempts tonight. So there you have it, folks. The Raiders prevail 49-21 on this, 28 on this night. Your Ian Lockwood player of the game, Connor Matthews, 29 carries, 226 yards, 1 reception for 23 yards, a big third down conversions for the Raiders. He is our Ian Lockwood player of the game. Our offensive player of the game comes from Carroll High, 6 receptions, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns for Peyton Plott. Our defensive player of the game, Joshua Wilson from Navarre. And our special teams player of the game, Tyler Daniel. And that's going to wrap it up here from Carroll High. For Seminole Bob and Irish Bill, we got a 2-hour plus road back, so we're going to get back as soon as we can. For Seminole Bob and Irish Bill, until next Friday, well, it takes 2 weeks from 2 weeks
yeah.
Back at the comfy confines of Bennett C. Russell Stadium against Mosley for homecoming. May the winds ever be at your back. This is Irish Bill signing off.